Hey, what's up? How's it going? It's been a while. It's been so long. It's been so many days. It's been all of the hours and even more seconds. Minutes are somewhere in there. I don't know how many minutes, but it's been many several, like 4 days. It's been a long time. How you doing? I missed you. Glad you're back. I'm glad I'm back with you. I want to talk about this week in class. Week 3. Unit 1, week 3. So, last week on, what is it? Last time, what you missed last time, I don't know. What are you doing? You're being weird. Don't do that. Last week we did a cooperative activities. This is a discussion post. We did the annotated bibliography. And we did, that's it. That's all from last week. I have not graded the annotated bibliographies yet. But you only turned it in yesterday, so I'll get there. I will get to it. Just give me a minute. You hear my cat? Hang on. Oh, she won't leave me alone if I don't do this. Yes? Are you gonna come in, or are you just gonna stand there and stare at me? No, I can't. No, I can't wait for you. I'm sure all of you who have cats understand this. The cat wants in. She's clawing and meowing at the door, and I go and I open the door for her, and she stands there and stares at me. And if I shut the door, she'll just tell me cats, it's whatever. Let's talk about writing. This week, technically, Essay 1 in its final version is due next week, right? That is due the 8th. That's a week from yesterday. If we scroll all the way down here, we find the Essay 1 classical argument essay is due 2/8 at midnight, which is Monday. So technically, the essay is not due this week. However, all of the writing of Essay 1 should happen last week and this week, right? All of the source research and citation research and actual paper writing and organizing and editing and all that needs to happen before Monday so that we are not scrambling at the last minute to get things fixed and turned in. We don't want to do that because that's bad practice. That's just a bad habit. It's not a good thing for us responsible grown-up college students to do. That's why we're not going to do that. So look at this. Starting tomorrow, Wednesday, you have assignments due almost every day. That's true. That's true. Let's look at them. So here are some useful reading parts. We have the classical argument outline you can use. We have an example of student essay. I'll come back to that. The review checklist. This is helpful. So what you can do is once you have your paper ready to go, you can take it to this checklist and make sure that you have checked all of these boxes. Does your first page, does it have this information on it? Clear introductory paragraph, topic sentences, classical argument has 5 parts, blah, 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 blah. Word choice. Here's a good one. The essay is saved only as a Microsoft Word. Now I will give you a little bit of leeway on that, and I will say rich text files, RTF files are also okay, but if you turn in an essay as a Pages file or some other file formats, I can't open those. They don't work on my computer. So it has to be in a Microsoft Word or RTF format, and it's very easy to do that when you're saving the file. I'm sure everyone knows how to do it, but when you're saving the file, save as, it should look something like this, and you just come down here to save as type, click this, and then change the type. You can save it as an RTF, rich text file format. You can save it as a document, PDF, lots of different options here. So that's what we need. It has to be in one of those 2 file formats for me to read it. All right, continuing down. Hold on a sec. Let's go back. Hang on. Let's go back just 1 week before, in the before time. Okay, that's the model. All right, right. Well, anyway. So this is the paper. I don't remember if we looked at this. I think we did. Pretty sure we did. But this needs to be 3 double-spaced pages, not including the works cited. It needs to have a works cited page separate from the paper, right? If we go to this model and we go all the way to the end, we will see that the works cited page, even though this formatting is screwed up, it's not supposed to be like this, but the works cited page has its own separate page. We don't want to tack it on to the end of our last page of content. And a minimum of 3 sources. Please be sure that you use at least 3 sources for this paper, and I would strongly recommend you to not use more than 3. 3 sources for a 3-page essay is plenty of sources. We generally don't want more than 1 source per page, because then it becomes too many quotations and not enough of your words. Another thing about sources. For every 1 source that you include on your works cited page, there must be at least 1, and probably for a paper this short, there must be 1 direct quotation from that source somewhere in your paper. If you have a source on your works cited page and there is not a quote from that source somewhere in your paper, then that's really considered a works consulted and not a works cited. And we're not doing one of those pages. So every one of your sources must have a direct quote taken from it, put into your paper somewhere. All right, so let's go back to this week. Our first assignment due tomorrow is reflection on former classical argument. It's not worth a lot of points, but see, examine a former classical argument you have written. So if you have the essay from Comp 1, you can use that. If you don't have an essay from Comp 1, if you don't have access to any former classical argument papers that you have written, I will allow you to go back to 1 week before and choose one of these down here, the videos or the articles, but it needs to be something different than you used from last week. Don't use the same sources last week. So if you don't have one of your own papers to use for this activity, you can use one of those. And again, what is the thesis statement? What is the main focus? A list of claims, where do they appear, so on and so forth. So basically, it wants you to evaluate your own writing from this standpoint. And really, if you can do that, that's best if you have access to that. But if you don't, then you can use one of the ones from last week. So that is due tomorrow by midnight. It's worth 5 points. 5 points doesn't sound like a lot, but believe me, I've had plenty of students who just completely ignore the discussion questions of 5 points each, and it does add up. It absolutely adds up to a loss at the end of the semester. Oh. Okay, so she's not going to come in. I'm going to open the door again, and she's going to sit there and she's going to stare at me. Watch. Well, you can't watch, but listen. All right, well, she came in that time. And she's off running away. Okay. At least she won't bother me anymore. Activity 2. Also due, look at this, also due tomorrow by midnight. Worth a few more points. Worth double points. Double points. So for this one... this one, classical argument review and drafting assignment. Answer the questions with quotes from your essay. So from the essay you're writing right now, you need to pull some lines from that. So what does that mean? It means you need to get started. If you haven't gotten started writing your paper by now, even though it's due Monday, you will need to do that in order to do this assignment. How does your intro open? Is it engaging? Is there a hook right there? Is there something to grab the reader's attention and keep them interested? Do they want to read your paper? The summary in your introduction, there should be kind of a setup summary. over your topic. So think about, and that can be something as easy as, you've talked about like recycle. Let's talk about like e-waste, right? Electronic recycling. Your summary can be something as simple as, e-waste is a big problem in the world, and there haven't been very many good answers to it, and it only keeps getting worse, and just a very brief summary of what your problem is and why it's important. Body paragraphs, does each paragraph have a claim near the beginning? Does each paragraph have a piece of evidence? Right? So if we need to separate our points of evidence, our support for our argument by paragraph. This is the counter evidence I talked about last week. You have to have the refutation. You have to acknowledge the other side and explain why your point is still superior. And then a wrapping up, a conclusion, a summation of your entire point. Okay? That's assignment number 2 due tomorrow. Assignment number 3 also due tomorrow. Woo! Look at that. Add 3 meaningful questions for classmates to answer. If you do not submit initial points by the deadline, you will receive a 0 for this assignment. And then we need 2 responses for this one. Those are due on Friday, you see. Do these need responses? These actually don't need responses up here. So this is the first one that needs responses. You can also submit your paper to Echo. That is our in-house school tutoring service. They do a lot of tutoring and they do feedback on papers. It's really a great help if you have time to do it. For this assignment, you will participate in a peer review of Class A, Essay 1. What that means is you are going to post your paper in the best form that you have it, and then let your peers read it. Post your rough draft. Ask specific questions to your peers related to the areas in which you are struggling. So you know how the paper feels to write. You know that the problems that pop up in your head as you're writing it, and you know areas of the paper that you would like to make better. So call those out when you post this. Say, here's my paper. I would like any advice you guys have on organization, or the strength of my argument, the strength of my evidence, or do I have enough evidence, or have I explained the thing enough, right? If it's something like, I don't know, I had one student write about sound equipment, like sound boards, like sound mixing boards, and most people just don't have any clue about that at all, myself included. So if it's something just a little bit random, a little bizarre, then be sure to tell us what it is and how it works, And then constructive feedback. So I may have mentioned that last week, but when I say constructive feedback, that's what I mean. It has to be meaningful feedback. It has to be something that the writer can use to make their paper better. If you tell them, it was good, I liked it, or I don't have any suggestions, everything was fine, then just don't say anything. Just don't do this assignment. That doesn't help. That doesn't fix anything. I'm not telling you to say you are a trash writer and you should never pick up the keyboard again. Do you pick up keyboards? You should never lay your fingers on a keyboard again. Clackety click clack. Obviously, don't do that. But also, you can't just say like, well, I don't know. The paragraphs were a little long. I didn't really understand what you were saying. Right? You have to tell me what it is you mean. Specifically, what did you notice about my paper? How would you make it better? If it was your job to rewrite this paper and improve it, make it better in some way, how would you do that? What would you focus on? That's constructive feedback. That's what we're after here. Avoid generalities, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, so those 3 assignments, I'm about to sneeze. Those 3 assignments are due tomorrow by midnight. Today's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday, so those 3 are due tomorrow by midnight. It looks like 12, 0, and nobody. Gosh, So some of you, about half of you, have done this first assignment here, but we have a couple more. So do not forget these. Don't sleep on these deadlines, these due dates. I'll tell you right now, I was a little more lenient. I was a little more easy that first week or so. But now due dates are going to matter. with this semester being so short, so compact and compressed and condensed, we simply don't have much time to drag the writing of these papers out. And so in order to help you stay on track, I'm going to hold you very firmly to these dates. If you turn in this assignment right here, this reflection on formal classical argument, and I can see, well, I can sort of kind of see when you turned it in. It tells me how many days ago you turned it in. And I see, if I look at this tomorrow, I'm sorry, if I look at this Thursday, and it says that you turned it in that day on Thursday, then I can't give you credit for this, right? I have to keep you on task because we have a lot of writing to do and not a lot of time to do it. So I will keep you on task for these 2 dates. Now, those 3 are due tomorrow. The next assignment you have coming up is due Saturday. That's the rough draft. Now, when I say rough draft, I mean it doesn't have to be in a final form. You don't have to have a works cited page on a rough draft. Basically, a rough draft is the best version of whatever you have at that point, right? There is no... Basically, a blank page is the only wrong rough draft you can turn in. If you have something, if I can see that you've done some work, you've done some research, you've put some thought into your paper, into organizing your paper and how you want it to look, then that is a rough draft to me. So turn that in here no later than Saturday by midnight. Sundays are usually quite busy for me, but I will find time to go in here and give you at least a couple sentences of feedback on your rough drafts. So on Sunday, see, I'm promising things for myself that I'm already regretting, but on Sunday, I will go in there and I will put at least 2 sentences of feedback on everyone's rough draft so that you have some idea of what I think about it before you turn it in on Monday. Okay, so that's due Saturday. Next, also due Saturday. So we have, look at this, 3 assignments due on Thursday, which is tomorrow. And then we have 2 assignments due on Saturday by midnight. The rough draft and the peer review reflection. This one says a review activity. It's a low stakes activity. So look at the notes left by your peers from this assignment right here. This peer review assignment. And then look at my notes that I give you on Sunday. I'll get definitely on sometime on Sunday. And fix up your paper. Fix up your paper. Look at your paper. See if you can improve it. See if you can punch it up, right? When you have a script, a movie script, and the producers are like, it's okay, but it's not popping, right? It needs something extra. So they bring in someone to punch up the script, which just means to go over it another time, to look over it, to change a few minor things, to add some elements to it that might help. Punch it up. So take your paper, punch it up, either Sunday night or Monday before you turn it in, and tell us about it. So here is this activity. This is what it wants you to do. Do not post your paper to this activity. Do not share your paper. We've already done that, right? We don't need to do that again. Instead, answer not all these questions. You do not have to answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've lost count now. Many, many questions. You do not have to answer every one of these questions. But get in here, answer a few, 2 or 3 of these questions in regards to your own paper and process. I might even have here, for the students who don't watch these videos, which, I mean, I don't understand what you're missing out on so much. It's appointment television. They should pay me for this thing. But they do. They pay me to grade papers. They don't pay me to make videos. And they should, because I'm really good at it. Like, it's kind of a little scary. I frightened myself. Let's see here. Examine the notes left by your peers. You have notes from examine those. This is help to clean for your. So, after, let's do this. After reviewing, your notes, choose no more than 3 questions from below and answer them about your own paper and your writing process in the text box for this activity. How's that? That makes sense? I think that makes sense. If you hadn't watched this video and you came across that assignment and you read that, would you understand what that meant? What you needed to do? I think that's a little more clear, at least, from what it was before. In fact, in order to help things along... I know, hold on. I'll get back to it. I know I'm wasting time. I'm sorry. In fact, to help things along, I will just simply do this. Bold. Pay attention to this. All right. So on Saturday, by midnight, we have 2 things due. The rough draft and the peer review reflection activity. Finally, the last thing to do for Essay 1 is to give it to me, put it in my virtual hands. Monday, February 8th, this paper in its final version is due. And again, let's take a quick look at the syllabus. Let's take a look at it. What does it say about late work? Late and missing work. Essays 1 and 2. Let me zoom in. 100%. Zoom more. Zoom all of the way. There we go. Essays 1 and 2, the research proposal and annotated bibliography may be submitted up to 1 week late for a 10% reduction with the instructor's approval. So, this will, obviously this won't be an issue because we're all responsible and we can all turn in our papers on time and not have any issues with it. And even if something were to happen out of our control that would prevent us from turning in this paper by Monday at midnight, whatever that could be, we are still grown up and responsible and good students enough to contact me and explain that to me. So that's 2 things. Either, and definitely more preferred, turn in your paper to this link right here no later than Monday by midnight. Or, if you can't do that for whatever reason, send me an email or call me or text me or come by my house or hang a big banner from a hot air balloon or something. Get a message to me in some way and let me know what the issue is, and then we can work it out somehow. Those are the only 2 options. If you want a grade for this assignment, you have to do one of those 2 things. If you don't turn in your assignment by Monday at midnight, and if I don't hear any reason why you couldn't, then we'll have some difficulty in rectifying that and fixing that problem. I'm not saying that there is 0 hope whatsoever. I'm not saying that I'm going to give you a permanent 0 that is permanent, immutable, right? Immutable? Unchanging or unable to be changed, right? I'm not saying I'm going to give you an immutable 0 for this assignment. I am saying that you're going to have a really good reason why you didn't turn it in and why you didn't talk to me before then. But maybe there are some reasons that would work. So anyway, that's due Monday. Okay. So what do we have? Tomorrow we have 3 things due. We have this, and we have this. Saturday we have 2 things due. We have this, and also this. And then Monday, we have this. And then starting after that, starting next week, we'll start on Essay 2 and get that going. So before I let you go, I'm going to talk about citation real quick. I've mentioned it before. So your textbooks have a lot of good citation information in them as well, but OWL Purdue is great. OWL Purdue is awesome. It has, look at this, look at all this, in-text citations. That's what we want. So depending on what type of source it is, it's probably going to look like this or this. For most of your website articles, right? There's a lot of times when websites don't have authors posted or listed. So in that case, you just simply, like this here, this one didn't have it, the impact of global warming in North America, no apparent author that we have. So for this one, we're just using the name of the article in parentheses surrounded by quotation marks. So if you keep going through here, there's, if you want to cite a YouTube video, that's down here. Probably electronic sources. If you have to cite like a database, see, is there periodicals maybe? If there's a database with more than one author, that's in here. An article in a scholarly journal right here. That would be for your databases. Books, basic format, electronic sources. Here's probably where the YouTube was. An entire website, a page on a website, an ebook, a tweet. There's YouTube. Another thing about this, page numbers, yeah. Websites don't have page numbers. Don't worry about that if you're doing a web page. And then, where is it? The Works Cited page also has a very standard required style. Let's look at this. Look at this model. So look at this. Look at this, look at this, look at this. What's this? What's this? Works Cited page. So if this was formatted correctly, your Works Cited header, like this right here, would go here at the top of this page right here, in the middle. No bold, no underline, no nothing like that. Look at the format of these entries, right? So we have one source here, we have one source here, we have one source here. Do you notice how these are formatted? The first line is hanging off to the left. It's way over on the left. And then every line after that is indented over by one. This is called hanging indent, and this is exactly how Works Cited pages are supposed to be formatted. We don't want them centered. We don't want them all jumbled onto the left. It needs to be in this way because this helps your reader find the sources better, easier. This Claire McCarthy here. Let's look up Claire, nope, probably McCarthy. Yeah. So there is the quote. Parents go through financial distress because of lost time at work, medical bills, or long-time disability care. This is actually a little bit different from the way I want you to do it. I want direct quotations. I don't want paraphrasing. This is a paraphrase from the article. I don't want that. I want a direct line that you have taken from that source and put into your paper somewhere. So if I were looking for that source, I read that in the paper, I come down to the Works Cited page. Oh, look, here it is. McCarthy right there. That's the name I was looking for. It's sticking out there for me. So your source, your Works Cited page needs to be in this format. And please pay attention to what this tells you. So let's see your periodicals. Oh, dang. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Here it is. I found it. Found it. You can stop looking. I found it. So look at this. Make this bigger for you. Review author. Well, not review. Let's not do reviews. Let's just do article and newspaper. So here's the author. Here's the title of the article. Here's the title of the newspaper. Here's the date that it was published. Here's the page it was on. What I want you to pay very special attention to with these citations on the Works Cited page is exactly how it looks on here. Up here, author, title of article, title of periodical, day, month, year, pages. What I mean by that is there has to be a period here. there has to be a period here. There has to be a comma here. There has to be a period at the end of the whole thing. If you're citing a website, look at this. Author, title of the article, title of the container. This would be a website. The date it was published, if you can find that. And then the address of the website. I don't really need the access. I don't need the data access. But look here. I need the whole website. So I want you to go up to the address bar, click it, Control C, or copy it in some way, and then plug that into your paper. Doesn't matter. It's gonna be crazy long. It's gonna look ugly as hell. That's what I want. Stick it in there. Put a period at the end of it, and that's the end of your citation for a website. After you put all the other stuff in there. I will tell you this. For this first major paper, even though this is Comp 2 and we should all be very familiar with MLA and how it works, I will tell you that for this first paper, I will not ruthlessly murder your paper in cold blood if you don't have your citations exactly right. Essay 2 is going to be a different story, but I will gently remind you that you need to change up your formatting a bit for your citation on this first paper. But it would be better for you. It'd be better for your grade if we got it right the first time. So I would encourage you to review any notes you have about MLA format from Comp 1. I would strongly encourage you to read the excerpts from this week. Chapter 6, Chapters 10, and Chapter 7. Again, I mean, this is, 8 pages, 19 pages, 20, no, that's 21, 23 pages. Okay, well, there's a little bit of reading. Anyway, so if you don't get it exactly right, that's fine. I'm not gonna. It's okay. It's all right this first time. The things that I want you to try to remember to do is the identifying information up here: name, professor, class, date, and the header. So I'm gonna show you. This is the last thing I'm gonna show you tonight. Then I'll let you go. The last thing I'm gonna show you is the header. How to make the header. How do we do that? There's 2 ways we can access it. We can either come up here and go to Insert and come over here to Header and put it up here. Or the easier way is just to come up to the top of your paper and double click. That opens this up. And now we have all these options up here. Over on the left, you'll see Header. Click that. Come down here to, page number. Click page number. Click top of page and come right here. Plain number 3, that's what we want. It's going to put a page number up there. We're going to type our last name only in front of it and then close. Now what that does is that puts a header on every page and it starts to count. So if we go to page 2, it counts page 2 automatically, right? So just come up to the top, double click, come over here to page number, top of page, plain number 3. It's very simple. Okay. I think that's all I wanted to do today. I wanted to show you the assignments. I want to remind you tomorrow there's 3 due, Saturday there's 2 due, and then the final essay is due Monday. I will have some feedback comments for you on Sunday on your rough draft. Every time I end one of these videos, I think, well, there was that other thing that I didn't say, but I don't even know if there's a thing. Maybe I'm fooling myself. Maybe there never was a thing to begin with. Maybe there is no spoon. Neo. Is that too old? That's probably too old. You guys, that was 99. That was 1999. That was too old of a movie for you guys to get that reference. So anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna let you go. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. And I'll be here if you need me, and that's it. So goodbye.